No one was ready for this, gentlemen and ladies. Our favorite cryptocurrency is about to take off, and for only one purpose. One of the wealthiest corporations in the world, Blackrock, is purchasing XRP Ripple currencies valued trillions of dollars. Doesn't it sound crazy? The globe will soon be in a state of shock, and now is the quiet before the storm. According to experts, XRP Ripple's price may soar above $702. Quite awesome, isn't it? Watch this video through to the end. Let's get right to the point without further ado. Disclaimer: financial behemoths like BlackRock and Fidelity are anticipated to join the competition for an XRP ETF, putting XRP at the forefront of discussion once more. This move removes a significant barrier for institutional investors, as Ripple's protracted legal spat with the SEC draws to a close. The case hung over XRP's future for years, but last week was a watershed. According to Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse, the company unexpectedly decided to withdraw its cross-appeal against the SEC when the commission itself decided to reject its appeal. These actions imply that regulatory certainty for XRP is at last achievable, even though the matter isn't formally resolved. One of the main reasons why big financial firms like BlackRock and Fidelity have been hesitant to apply for an XRP ETF is this uncertainty. These two titans of asset management have been sitting on the sidelines, in contrast to WisdomTree and Franklin Templeton, who have already applied. However, that might soon change. BlackRock and Fidelity are expected to join the XRP ETF venture after the litigation is settled, according to Nate Geraci, president of the ETF store. Both companies currently oversee Ethereum and Bitcoin ETFs. Additionally, it appears to be the next logical step, given that XRP is currently the third largest non-stablecoin cryptocurrency. Crypto fans are already looking forward to this change. Social media has been ablaze with speculation, with tweets claiming that BlackRock is interested in XRP and that their entry into the market could lead to a huge price spike. The basic message is evident, even though some claims, such as the one that BlackRock is purchasing $9 trillion worth of XRP, may be overblown. Big money is observing. An XRP ETF from BlackRock and Fidelity would boost liquidity, gain institutional legitimacy, and hasten widespread adoption. This is easier to understand when you know what an ETF is. An ETF is a type of investment vehicle that lets investors purchase shares of an asset, such as XRP, on conventional stock exchanges and monitors its price. It would be simpler and safer for investors to obtain exposure to XRP by trading an XRP ETF rather than buying and holding XRP directly. Similar to what happened with Bitcoin when spot ETFs were granted earlier this year, the establishment of an XRP ETF would be revolutionary. Institutional investors flocked to Bitcoin as a result of that decision, and XRP may experience a similar spike in price. Geraci is not alone in his belief that the SEC will eventually authorize an XRP ETF. Similar assurance has been voiced by Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple, and applications have already been submitted by investment firms such as Grayscale and 21 Shares. Technical analyst Vincent Van Code has made some audacious forecasts, including that the SEC would approve several XRP ETFs. Even if this is still purely hypothetical, there is no denying the momentum. Today's meeting behind closed doors could be a turning point in the SEC's future. The final significant regulatory barrier for XRP would be lifted if the Commission formally votes to dismiss the Ripple appeal, opening the door for institutional investment on a never-before-seen scale. The future of XRP appears more bright than ever, with the litigation almost settled, interest from BlackRock and Fidelity, and the possibility of an XRP ETF growing every day. The key to releasing institutional demand would be regulatory clarity. Furthermore, history has demonstrated that significant price changes can occur when large sums of money join a market. Now, everyone is waiting for the SEC to make its decision because if it does, XRP may be ready for its most significant move to date. Analysts are now making audacious price projections for XRP just when you thought things couldn't get any bigger. And believe me, you will be stunned by some of these figures. You're going to be surprised if you believe that XRP's next move will be just another minor step. You're not prepared for what's going to happen next, and the forecasts we're seeing have the potential to completely alter everything. Although XRP has long been a subject of conjecture, the discussion has now taken a new turn. Some claim that the token is about to see a historic rally as a result of experts and influencers making audacious price predictions. Crypto researcher eGreg predicts that XRP will reach $27 in just 60 days, but Crypto Sensei goes even farther and projects an incredible $702 per XRP. In the meantime, there is increasing excitement on social media, with users tweeting things like, "Your altcoins are about to 100x, be ready," and "XRP is looking giga-bullish." However, as anticipation grows, a community discussion has broken out. Are these forecasts based on fact, or do they simply feed irrational expectations? The dire predictions are not being accepted by everyone. All Things XRP, a cryptocurrency analyst, recently denounced what he describes as inflated price forecasts that deceive investors. He said that unrealistic predictions, such as that XRP would reach $100 next month or even $10,000 overnight, incite false hope and cause more harm than good. He chastised influencers for making such claims. He said that the community is becoming aware of these irrational statements, highlighting the necessity of having responsible conversations supported by actual data. This position is not unique to him. Michael Halatek, a holder of XRP, supported the critique by pointing out that some influencers set widely disparate price targets from $44,000 to $10,000 all within hours just to garner interaction. This kind of behavior isn't about helping the community, he said. The goal is to profit from hype. A larger problem in the crypto realm is reflected in this discussion: false information. XRP is a target for hype-driven narratives, while having one of the most fervent communities in the market. The message of All Things XRP is one of transformation, asking the community to hold conversations to better standards. It's an obvious argument. Credibility is more important than idle conjecture if XRP is to become widely accepted and attract significant institutional investment. Investors may make poor decisions based on emotion rather than strategy as a result of misleading information. Additionally, it provides detractors with more justification to write off XRP as simply another overhyped coin. This is not to argue that bullish forecasts are without value. Growing institutional interest, possible ETF clearance, and XRP's legal clarity might all contribute to a notable price increase. Distinguishing what is completely speculative from what is feasible is crucial. For instance, the value of Bitcoin increased exponentially over time. However, it didn't suddenly go from $1,000 to $10,000. There will always be moments of volatility, corrections, and consolidation throughout a bull run. Time, acceptance, and actual market catalysts are probably needed if XRP is to hit double-digit or even triple-digit prices, not simply tweets that go viral. Crazy, huh? But wait, because the situation is going to get even more complicated. Price projections aren't the only thing that make news for Ripple. It's forming revolutionary alliances that have the potential to propel XRP higher. Why is this important? Because XRP's full potential can only be realized through real-world usage. Ripple will soon compete in more than just the financial sector. It's going to take over. XRP is therefore no longer merely a speculative asset. The most recent collaborations demonstrate its growing status as a worldwide financial powerhouse. XRP has recently been incorporated by Dubai's biggest bank, paving the way for the Middle East to absorb many institutions. And that's not all. To facilitate quick and affordable cross-border transactions, Ripple has teamed up with ChipperCash, one of Africa's top payment providers. Millions of people depend on the multi-billion-dollar remittance sector, and this is a game-changer. It's evident that Ripple's vision for international payments is becoming a reality, especially with XRP at the heart of these transactions. However, this is where the situation becomes even more intriguing. Banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers, said Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve. That is a clear indication that